Hello, Andy here, and welcome to another episode of my vlog where I'm talking about me making music and making a living off that music. First of all, I want to welcome my new subscribers. I've put your names in the links below, so thank you very much for subscribing. And as always, if you're new here and when you've watched everything and you like what you see, then please like and subscribe. So this week I still haven't come up with a track that I'd like to release as a single. I've been describing the process in previous episodes and it's not going very well. I'm trying to make a piece of music that I can put out as a single, if you like. It's like a defined release that will come out on all the streaming platforms, Spotify, all those, plus you'll be able to buy it in download stores. And I want to do something that's dance music based, electronic music based, underground. Those are my interests and I have all the machinery to do that. And I also want to do something that has some lyrical or word content that reflects what's going on at the moment. So the obvious thing then is to write some lyrics and sing them, and you've heard my singing before, and that's not to say I couldn't. Electronic music by its very nature tends to be monophonic and there's not a lot of room for melody if it's purely underground, so I'm struggling with those two concepts. I am influenced by 80s music and the use of samples and cut-ups. Bands such as Cabaret Voltaire took this to the logical conclusion. Basically, after you listen to a few Cabaret Voltaire records, you might as well give up. But there's elements of that you hear repeatedly even today that I thought about exploring. Last week I told you that I was working on this track called Why, and I quite liked it, so I'm just going to take you through the stages to see how I ended up just going around in circles and not having a very good time. So this is the day one version. So that was the day one. As you can hear, it's quite 80s, 90s. It's got sampled voices in it, and I was happy with that as a starting point.
plastic to cover Texas and the Pacific Ocean?
That was the day two. I've sped it up, tried to make it a bit more housey, perhaps some more contemporary sounds in it, but it's still got the the sample vocals, and I found another sample to create the Y, to give it that accent. And then I went away and I thought, so I went to a day 3 version. Tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why.
Why? To cover Texas and the Pacific Ocean?
That was day 3, and I've obviously found a different sample, or an additional Tell Me Why sample to add in, and if you'd listen to the whole track, I actually use that more and more. But I've already explained about sample clearance, so why the hell am I doing sampling stuff that I'm going to have to either recreate or pay to get sample clearance for? So I don't know what I was thinking by going around and trying to find all these samples, which I did. And anybody who does anything sample based will tell you it takes a long time to find the right sample that's going to go with the right music. So I spent all this time getting samples and I don't want to use them. I don't want to use these samples. Anyway, on to day 4. That was day 4, and I've ditched the speech samples, and I'm still going with those vocal samples. I've just explained, I don't want to use samples, but at this stage I was thinking samples. And just to let you know, the speech samples are not something that I've taken from somewhere else. I use Amazon's Poly speech synthesizer, and you can put your own text in, and then there's a variety of voices that you can choose, and then I manipulated it after the fact. So in terms of creating speech and little vocal samples for tracks, then that's fine. They are copyright free. There is no copyright. Well, there is copyright, but I wrote the words, so I'm not taking it from somewhere else. But the vocal samples, yes, I'm gonna have to get clearance for them. So why am I still banging on with these vocal samples? Anyway, day 5. So day 5, complete change of direction. I've moved away from a house. I'm going for more bass sounds, up the tempo. Still got that sample in it, and you know the sounds are really just cursory, just getting an idea around. I don't know why, I can't remember why I shifted from house to this. I was probably just got bored of 4 on the floor for a while. So that's where I am. And also when it says day 1, day 2, that's not every day. It's just I call stuff day for a new version just to keep track of it in my music making machine here on Trello. There you have it. That's the process that I went through, and I'm still no further down the line. I'm not despondent. I'm obviously creating lots of content while I do that, lots of music ideas. I'm constantly honing my production chops, so that is all good. What I'm thinking is to create a track along the lines of what you've just heard, one of those things, and then for a video-only version, incorporate those samples. As I mentioned in previous vlogs, I'm going to be doing what's called a fan finder campaign using paid Facebook ads to find people who like what I'm using and then engage them. And I think a sample, word-heavy, lyric video might just do the job, and you might watch it and you might go, oh yeah, I quite like that, and tap the like button. Every week I set myself a task or tasks, and I hopefully fulfill them and then report that back in the subsequent week. Last week's task was to carry on making music, and you've just seen what happened while I was trying to do that. I mean, I am enjoying it, and I just get frustrated, curse my metal body that I can't translate my ideas into sick beats, but I'm getting there. So 2 tasks this week, finishing music, taking a view on what I'm doing with that music, perhaps dropping the samples and then doing a video-only version with the samples in it and some lyrics for the video. And talking of videos, my second task is I did a soft release of a track called Bumpy Roller back in July, and I didn't make a video for it. There is a lot of argument in the press and amongst music marketers about the validity of music videos, especially their cost, compared with equivalent content just on social media. However, a music video is a nice thing to have, especially at my stage, so I started to make a video for Bumpy Roller. Literally last night I started editing some footage, and so I want to get that finished and posted up, just as a nice little way of cementing everything together. That's it from me for this week. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. Like I said before, if you are enjoying it, then please subscribe. I post every week, and you can see all the buttons dinging around, hopefully, as I speak. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week.